I'm Charlotte Kramer.
And I'm Stephen Kramer. I believe having a sacred space is very important. And a sacred space where the sacrament is present is going to create for a very holy, solemn experience. There are few things that are still sacred in this world. And in our Catholic Church is the most sacred space really on earth.
Envision more peace. Envision more joy and contentment in the heart and the soul of each student that walks the halls in this school. Envision more love. We need more love in the world. Envision more hope, because when I, as a parent, come and see these kids and their faith and what they believe in as teenagers, I have so much hope for the future of our church, and it's really inspiring. These kids have so much going against them today.
There's nothing more important than one's faith. To be able to contribute to the legacy following the faith is extremely important. So all generations need to come together to help provide for the future of our faith. We want our faith to continue.
And I think a chapel where Jesus, whose mission was to come love and come down from heaven, he's God walking on this earth, and he will be housed in the flesh in the tabernacle, in the quiet, of the chapel, a place to have mass, praise and worship music, where the music ministry can really participate in the mass. It all adds to the sights and sounds and symbols of our faith, the incense, the genuflecting, the sign of the cross, the baptismal water, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, all of those things will be in this chapel. All the sights and sounds and smells of our faith. That's why I think it's important. It's got to be set apart, it's got to be sacred, it's got to be quiet. And then we're going to listen, place to listen. And then the kids their faith will just grow. They really do. They have a lot of struggles that I don't remember struggling with at their age. And we need all the help we can get. God, we need Jesus. We need this church, the church, the values, the morals that this school teaches from our Catholic faith. The kids need that. And that's what makes them good people. They'll be good employees one day. They'll be good citizens one day. They'll be good parents one day. And that's what I envision more. And I envision the education, the spiritual growth that they receive in this community here in the school will foster vocations for priests and religious. And I do believe that a chapel on this campus will call young women and men to serve God. It will help them listen, and then they'll answer to that call.
The chapel helps me envision more of the sacrament, more masses, more ability to go to confession, more sacramentals, more rosaries, more prayer time, more contemplative prayer, all things that occur in our Catholic Church to be able to participate here at St. Thomas More. That's what I envision.
I think building the chapel and where the place where they have it, right front and at the, in the corner there, when you drive through, and the horseshoe will be one of the first things that you're going to see when you drive up for your kids. And it's just like being able to pass a Catholic church around town. You know that Jesus is alive and present in the tabernacle. And for the kids, being a separate place away from the noise of the hallways, the hustle and bustle of running to classes, and maybe a place where during their breaks or their lunch hour, they might need to go talk to God and have some quiet time. Instead of, getting on the cell phone and texting someone, just go sit and talk to God about your situation and get away and quiet. I know the chapel and the room that they have now, the kids do spend quiet time there. I'll walk in there as a mom who has participated in the adoration there. The school's invited parents to come in and sit and pray for the community here, the faculty, the teachers, the administrators. And I've seen kids come and go during the day. It touches my heart. It gives me so much hope that these kids they're getting it. They're being fed here spiritually as well as they're being mentally challenged in the classroom. This is a community of love.
And tell me about your affiliation with St. Thomas More.
We have 4 children, and we've had 2 daughters that have finished here, and we currently have a sophomore, and we have our youngest is still in middle school, but she'll be here soon, a couple of years. And
Yeah.
we're parents. We love this school.
Say that again, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, we're just parents who love this school.
Obviously, being parents, yes, our children attended Our Lady of Fatima, and they've come now to STM. We help out with the Parents for Light program, among other things. We're excited about the chapel.
Okay, very good. So, as a parent of STM, what impact do you believe STM's religious formation has had on your family or on your children? You've had two graduate
Mhm.
already?
2 graduate.
Yeah, so talk about the spiritual formation here.
Steve, why don't you just go first?
We have loved it. We have loved the ability to plug the girls in at any chance we can. Any chance we could. The campus ministry here is phenomenal. But all the different opportunities, all the apostolates under the campus ministry banner has been really good. From pro-life to Hope Fest, the list is endless.
Our daughters have blossomed here with the campus ministry as well as the academics, and there's so much they have to offer to help these kids, open up to a personal relationship with God. Is Catholic formation, of course, in the classroom, but a lot of extracurricular in service to the community, to the poor. My kids have thrown themselves into their faith even more. As a parent, we're the primary educators for our kids. But we really are thrilled that St. Thomas More offers, they're there. They're there to encourage our kids. They've heard it at home. They're going to hear it here. And my girls have just gotten involved, retreat teams, retreat leaders as participants, and then they're formed so much that they go back and they become leaders, and that's their way of giving back. And particularly like a personal relationship with God, Jesus. I think these kids are hungering to get closer to God. There's so much of the world that's pulling at them to take them away from their faith and their families, the culture. So I think being in this environment for the 4 years, it really sets a good foundation for them to go off to college, to stay true to their faith, continue to go to Mass, seek out the sacraments, particularly, in the future for confirmation and the opportunities for reconciliation here during class time, I think is wonderful.
So what does St. Thomas More mean to you? Y'all both doing great.
Charlotte, you first.
Okay, when you look at St. Thomas More and our history and the mission of this school, seekers of truth, God's servants first, that's what I think of first. St. Thomas More, if you look at who this school was named after, and I just hope these kids, while they're here in the 4 years, that they understand, why is the school named St. Thomas More, what was valuable about this man's life, the sacrifice he made for his faith and his love for the Lord that he gave. So I think when the kids understand that, and the faculty and staff here and our priests, they all teach that to the kids. They'll walk away from the school, go on with their lives, whether they come back as alumni and send their kids here. They'll just see, a beautiful blessing that our faith has and our church has. Our ultimate goal for me as a parent is to get my kids to heaven one day. And this school has given them the opportunity. It's planted seeds. It's watered their faith. They've blossomed. And that's the most I can ask for school. It's been really, it's been great.
St. Thomas More for me, the first week my eldest daughter came here, I was excited I didn't realize that the sacrament was present on campus. So we were invited to come in and pray in front of the sacrament while school was going on. The first few minutes that I was there, students, over the intercom, was announced that they were having confessions during the hour that I was there. And there were approximately 30 kids that came in during that hour to go to confession while I was there in front of the sacrament. And that floored me. I was so touched by that. And I knew we were in the right place at that time.
Very good. So what is,
I'm going to take a moment. We got to switch one battery.
okay, y'all doing great.
You can set up for the next question.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing just phenomenal. You're doing great, baby.
Helping their spiritual growth, you know, their spiritual, you know, their spirit, the heart, you know,
Yeah.
the soul, you know. Okay.
Interview 9, take 2.
So I'm going to ask that question again. You did answer it. Is it Stephen?
Mhm.
Okay, so what does STM mean to you? And remember that my voice won't be on camera, so answer in complete sentence. So, you know, STM, for me, STM means blank.
Okay. For me, STM means the Catholic faith. The religion classes that they take, sharing those moments with my daughters, things they learned that day when they came home from school was very touching to me. Having the sacrament on campus is, I think, just the most amazing feat, and what a plus that is. The ability to go to confession during class time is amazing. These are things I think are extremely special in our Catholic faith.
So why do you believe building a dedicated chapel is so important to the school today and in the future?
Stephen.
So, do you want to answer that question? Did you answer that question?
I think I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
so I was
sorry.
first, yeah.
It's been a long day.
No,
Ladies first.
Okay, sorry. So part of the campaign, and why we're having so many different people participate, because we're having grandparents and faculty taking pictures and being on videos. What we're saying is it takes a community, it takes brothers and sisters and volunteers and parents and grandparents to make more room for God. Can you explain this, and who do you think it will take to make this chapel happen, to get this chapel built? What will it take?
Yeah, you say,
I know, I was kind of.
yeah. Or to-
Who needs to participate? I mean, or, it takes everyone is what we're trying to say.
Mhm.
So can you explain that thought, at least?
Okay. Church is a community, and community comes together to worship. So it's going to take everyone to help. It's going to take everyone to make this happen, to create this sacred space. As Catholics, we're called to tithe, and this could be a very considerable part of your tithing as giving to the church.
I think that the sacrifice, whether it's the time, talent, or treasure to build such a chapel or a beautiful place to hold masses and have a place where the sacraments of our faith can be practiced, it'll be a financial sacrifice for people, or an offering done out of love. And grandparents who have had grandchildren here and can see in the faith lives of their kids, who probably have the same desire and goal to see their grandkids in heaven one day with them, and parents who want to see maybe their kids and maybe their grandkids too have a place to worship during the school day.
Why is it, let me rephrase that question. Why, this is all kind of being inspired by it takes a village, right?
Right.
It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a church or a chapel.
Mhm.
So can you explain that to me? Who is it going to take? How to do this? We all have to rally around this to make it happen, either through sweat equity or financial donations. But more than anything, who needs to get involved in this and why?
Every generation, grandparents' generation, our generation, those of us that are putting our kids through school right now, and those, the ones in the grammar school, the parents who see that I'd like to send my kids here one day, or the next, middle schoolers, they can see their kids here for 4 years. And for me, I'm hoping my kids, when the grandkids, if they choose to send their kids here, that chapel will be here, already established for, my grandkids.
Okay, very good. So this is kind of the inspiration, this is the ending, and the theme is envision more, right? Envision more room for God. Envision more quiet time with God. Envision more, can you answer that can you just say envision more what? What would you tell someone? Envision more with this chapel, envision more what?
That's what I envision this chapel helping. Envision more.
That was good.
Do y'all have any other questions?
That's all I
Did you
said.
do anything else?
Yeah, I think we got it all there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all good.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Good. Hope you got something you can pick out.
Yeah, we got